Hi, Grace here, Sitka Seafood Market, and today we are going to be making crab cakes using our wild Alaskan Dungeness crab. Come on! Different types of crab cakes, some that use a lot of filler like breadcrumbs and eggs and mayo, lots of vegetables. These are very pared down, so it allows the Alaskan Dungeness crab to really come through and really be the star of the show. Let's get started. We've got very minimal binder, as I had said, so there's mayo, there's a little bit of whole grain or plain Dijon mustard, about 3 tablespoons of finely chopped sweet onion. It has a nice, sweet, light flavor. Then there's parsley, 2 tablespoons of parsley, panko on the inside and panko on the outside. So this is a 1/4 cup of panko. And that gets all mixed together. And this is it for the binder, really, that's all it is. There's a little bit of Old Bay, 1/2 teaspoon for seasoning, and some black pepper, and a little bit of salt. And the crab is a bit salty, so you want to go light on the salt. You can always season it after. And that's the good thing about a crab cake that has no egg in it. You can taste it at any time. So this is the crab meat from about 2 half clusters, which is a whole crab, and it's about 1/2 pound or a cup of crab meat. Stir it all together. You don't want to break up the lumps too much, but you do want to have a nice sort of cohesive mixture. So now it's time to form these into crab cakes. Since there is not a lot of binder, they are delicate, so divide them into 4 mounds on a baking sheet lined with parchment or wax paper. Then we can actually press them together to make them a little bit firmer and hold together better. So pressing together like this, like so. Press them together in your hand if that also works better. And then I'm going to refrigerate these for about 1/2 an hour, just so that the panko absorbs the mayo, and it makes it easier to handle when you're breading them and then frying them. So I'm going to take these into the fridge now. So while those are chilling and firming up, I'm going to make the easy aoli. And I say easy because it really is super, super easy. About 1/2 cup of mayo, some Dijon mustard, 2 teaspoons, a little bit of cayenne for heat, a little grated garlic, about 1/2 teaspoon, and a squeeze of lemon juice. So whisk it all together, and this is just a sort of a flavored mayo, but what really sort of gives it that more aioli kind of consistency and flavor is some fresh added extra virgin olive oil. So just in a thin stream, whisk it in, about 2 tablespoons is all you need. Season it with a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and we're good to go. Easy aioli, easy. So now that these had a 1/2 an hour in the refrigerator, they've really, really firmed up. We will set up our breading station, and this is what will give the exterior a really crunchy coating. First, we have a little dust of flour, then a coating in egg wash. Remember, when you're breading, try and keep your dry hand clear and use your one hand just for wet ingredients. And if they do tend to fall apart a little bit, you can always press them together again. They are very forgiving. Okay. So I'm going to clean this up, and then we'll get back to frying. Okay, so now it's time to fry our crab cakes. So I've got grapeseed oil in a large pan over medium-high heat, And grapeseed oil is good because it's a high smoke point oil, so it doesn't turn acrid when it is cooked at high heat. So I'm going to add my crab cakes. Use a pan big enough so that they're not crowded, because you do want to be able to turn them without knocking into the other ones. So let's give it a few minutes, about 2-3 minutes per side. And I've got about a 1/4 inch of oil in the pan. You could also air fry these. I would spray them with a little bit of vegetable cooking spray, put them in an air fryer at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes or so until nice and crispy. Okay, so it's time to turn them. They're nice and golden on the bottom. Look at that, perfect. Turn them over, and then we've got probably 2-3 more minutes before these are completely done. Remember, there's nothing raw on the inside, so it's really just about getting the coating crispy and the inside, the interior, heated up. So these are just about done. So I'm going to take them out of the pan and transfer them to a paper towel lined baking sheet. And I'm going to flip it over so that the freshly cooked side is exposed. And then the last thing I'm going to do is hit it with some flaky sea salt. And you want to add it after it's just freshly cooked, freshly fried, so that the grains of salt adhere. And it has a nice little crunch to it. Okay, so now let's plate them up and give it a taste. Oh, beautiful. Little squeeze of lemon, and you're good to go. Ooh, look at that. Little dip in the aioli. It's so good. There's so little binder in there, and so you really get all of that delicious, sweet, briny crab flavor. And the aioli is just tart and spicy enough to add a little bit of interest without overwhelming. Look how much crab is in there. It's really nice. So for the full recipe and more recipes using Dungeness crab, visit the website sitkaseafoodmarket.com. The link is in the description. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.